Let's talk about using a towel roll to get the most out of your abdominal exercise. Now, one of the most important parts of picking a little towel roll to add underneath your back is to get the right height. Something that's too big is going to send somebody into too much spinal extension. So if they complain of their back irritating them or bothering them a little bit, numbness, tingling, anything like that, then you know, oh, okay, you have too high of a towel roll and you're going to want to knock it down. Likewise, if it's too flat, it's not going to give them enough support. But I tend to err more on the side of too flat than too much for this exercise. Now we're going to use this towel roll to decrease the amount of rectus abdominis we're getting and increase the amount of transverse abdominals that we're getting. Now the rectus actively pulls the pelvis into a posterior tilt. So our rectus abdominal muscle, the one in the front, if it is unrestrained by the lateral abs, it will give you this bread loaf appearance. So if you feel like when you go to do abdominal work and you have this bread loaf kind of appearance, then that means you probably have a rectus dominant pattern, and we're going to want to contain that rectus with some lateral abdominals. Kind of sandwich it in and squish it down. How I want you to think about that. Now, since the rectus is a primary mover for a posterior pelvic tilt, we want to keep that in mind. So if somebody has a very large arch in their back, then they might have a long way to go, and they might get, when they go to do dead bugs and they pre-brace and try to find the floor, they might have a long way to go. Now that long way to go is going to give them lots of rectus contraction. So what we're going to do is bring the floor up to them. And so with that towel roll right underneath their lumbar spine, they're like, I can tuck a tiny bit, which is where the transverse abdominals, those deep abdominals, they like a little bit of a posterior tilt. So you can use that towel roll to provide a little bit of something to posteriorly tilt in, but we're not having to go a very long distance, which is going to decrease rectus. So give that a try. Put the towel roll under your low back, and then try to do your dead bugs and see if you aren't like, whoa, I feel that a whole lot more. And I'm able to brace and flatten and get that nice TA corset. Now, likewise, if somebody doesn't have an excessive anterior tilt, maybe they like to grip and tuck a little bit, but you notice, hey, I see some shadow underneath their lower rib cage, I see maybe some more shirt wrinkling under their lower rib cage, then you're going to want to place your towel roll at that thoracic lumbar junction, so right at the bottom of their rib cage, and have them press into it there. This is going to be especially useful for the people that tend to be upper body grippers. So when you're like flat in your back and they go like this and they come forward with their chest, their shoulders to be able to bring their rib cage down, then you know, okay, I've got to bring the floor up to their rib cage. So you're helping them by bringing the floor up so that they don't have to bring their rib cage quite as far down. So, and sometimes I've even put a towel roll underneath somebody's lower back and the bottom of their rib cage. But usually you can just use it under one spot. So give that a try and see if maybe the lower rib cage or the lower lumbar, and then how that changes your abdominal work for bracing, and seeing how much you recruit, and see if you get a little bit less rectus dominant and a little bit more lateral and deeper abdominals.